Okay, so now for what I'll be reading in September. Now, some of these I have started, and some of them I'm gonna finish like September 3rd or September 4th, whatever. But I'm still gonna be reading them in September. But let's get on with it. First up, the OGNs, which was gonna try to finish this weekend. 'Cause I had a 4-day weekend, and I only got one of them finished. Maybe two. No, tomorrow I can't do it actually too. Because I want it to be 11 for even like days like Monday where I have a full day off. If I have work the next day, I want it to be 11. And honestly, I've been doing 11 this whole entire weekend. I've had like one thing going on that kind of like made everything go like I had a nice little schedule going on, and I was fine with it at the end of the day. Like the first night, I was like, all right, it's not gonna go the way I want it to go. I understand that, and I'm fine with it. Um, Nothing we did was something I didn't want to do. Honestly, I got away with doing what I didn't want to do today. We didn't end up doing that. So there you go. All right, OGNs. Soma, and I'm gonna breeze past the ones I've already shown. My Friend Dahmer. Now this is the library's copy, and I was hoping to get the hardcover because I figured I don't want to say like a Tokyo Ghost, but similar to Tokyo Ghost, I wanted to read it in different format the second time I read it, or the next time I read it. In Tokyo Ghost case, Tokyo Ghost I've read. Actually, this one I've read 3 times. The Tokyo Ghost I read 4 times. This is probably more like 3. But unfortunately, the lending library did not have the hardcover. And the local library, the home base. So when I say local library, I usually mean interloans. They get books from other libraries or movies from other libraries. We get my way. When I say local library, I mean my home base library, the library that I initially went to before before being told about interlibrary loan. Now my home base library had the hardcover, but they get rid of books for no reason. It's so fucking annoying and weird, and I hate it because they'll get rid of books out of nowhere. Like this one, I was hoping to get this one like last week, a couple weeks ago. I was going to bring this with me when I went on vacation. Now I never end up reading much of anything, hence why I still have Soma. But still, it would have been nice. And honestly, this one goes by chapter, so maybe I would just read by chapter. But it doesn't matter at the end of the day, because I have the book. I'll just read in this format, the same exact format I own it in, but not the same exact book. Because I have the movie tie-in edition, which isn't anything different other than it has a couple extra pages. But yeah, my Friend Dahmer I really liked. I like the whole true crime shit, which is really weird because you would think, because I work at a school and they have a true crime class. And I've been in it like a full semester worth. One class I went to was one teacher, then halfway through I got redirected to another teacher, teaching the same stuff. My problem with the class was that it was a lot of independent work. So, nothing. It's still interesting. We watched an episode of Mindhunter. We watched an episode of Criminal Minds in both classes, so one each. I think it's actually 3 total. It is a nice class. I do like, and both teachers are really nice. They're really young, so they're not like crotchety and old and annoying. They're very nice and very down to earth, and a lot of the kids seem to like them too. But that class, like, it was kind of, I would like the other one. If I had to choose to go one or the other, I'd probably choose the other one. I would say names, but it's probably not a good idea, even this. But I've always been interested in true crime, so I've always really liked My Friend Dahmer. I actually did suggest that they read it for this coming year, but then DEI and that whole thing happened. I don't know what they call it. But whatever the regulation is, in my state at least, where you can't do DEI shit anymore. And not only that, but budgets. I think it's more budget than anything, so I need to mention DEI thing. But anyways, moving on. Cronin? I have this one. I think this is one of the ones that showed up in my recommended. So my account, when you review books, you can review books now, just by stars. You can't do a full-fledged review. It's just a star review, one being the lowest, 5 being the highest. You just give it a rating, I should say, not review. Give a rating, and then based off it, if you got a good score on the book, they'll give you recommendations based on what you like. And this was one of them. No idea what I reviewed that I got this from, but I saw this one. I was like, all right, I know nothing about this, about anything, about the writer, about the book, about anything. honestly, when I got this book, I didn't even know if it was an OGN or not. It is, so read it all one sitting. But probably like with, I'm sure I'll be probably. Actually, I can't really afford to read it in 2 days. Anyways, and then last up, I think I already showed this. It's Time Waits, Chip Zdarsky. Now this is a mixture between the Image Comics writers, where these books are written by writers who then work for Image. Chip Zdarsky being the main. I shouldn't even have to mention that. And then the first 3 were miscellaneous, where they haven't written anything for Image. I know Dirtbag Durf, who did My Friend Dahmer, has written nothing for Image. But I assume, for the most part. Like, Cronin, that writer could have done something, but I just assume. I know Soma Writer has not. The Soma Writer, that's their, I don't know if it's a girl or boy, I should say there. It's their graphic novel debut. I think it was a woman. I can't remember. Alright, so now, speaking of Image, here, the first 5 are going to be my Image picks for this month. What Image books for my PC I'll be reading this month. Now, like with last month, I'm probably going to, in the middle of the month, in the middle of the month, probably pick up more and choose more, because I'll probably have more open slots, like, oh, I want to read this one, so let's add that one to the pile. I don't know if I'm saying like that, but you get the point. I'll add more in. So by September 31st, or is it 30th, by the end of September, this month, I will probably have added more in. I already have to do Black Science, I know I have to do Black Science, like 2 volumes to finish that series for the second time by the end of this year, that's my milestone. But anyways, first up we have Alex plus Ada by Sarah Vaughn and assists by Jonathan Luna, but mostly written by Sarah Vaughn. This will be the last Sarah Vaughn series I need to read that she's done for Image. I already read Sleepless before I even added it to my PC. And then last month I read Eternal Empire, as you saw. So it's 3-volume series, volume 1, 2, and 3. Hopefully that's in order. Well, it should be. I did not get the hardcover. I just decided that back then I did not want the hardcover. I don't think the hardcover comes with anything extra. I know one viewer got the hardcover. Ironically enough, actually I think it was before I got it, they had gotten the hardcover. But still, they had the series I was talking about. Still ironic. Next up, we have Dark Ride, which is written by Jonathan Williams. Joshua Williamson. This will not be the last thing I need to read from him for Image, because he's got G.I. Joe. It's an ongoing series, and that hasn't concluded yet. Hence the ongoing series. But volumes 1, 2, and 3 of Dark Ride. No real rhyme or reason why I picked up Dark Ride. I do have the floppies. I think that's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, if I want to sell the floppies, because that's how I do my wrong box. Like when I'm selling comics, the floppies, it falls under 2 criteria. Either it's I got the trade, I don't need the issues anymore, or I just didn't really like the series, or I got a duplicate of it. And honestly, the ones I didn't like, none of them are awful. They just weren't my cup of tea. Like something like, it's not in my wrong box anymore, but a series called Nevada, I didn't really like the first time I read it. In my defense, I didn't get all the issues. It was like issues 3, 4, 5, and 8. Like that, out of order. Stupid, I don't know why I did that. Even thinking back then, like, what the hell was I thinking? I don't know. Anyways, I don't even think I have issue 1 of Nevada. But anyways, moving on. So I mentioned Dark Ride, I have the floppies. Alex Posada, last Sarah Vaughn book from Image. Alright. So I do like to add in at least one reread. Like one of the library had it. I liked it so much. Oh my god, that book got massacred. Be careful to put that away on my shelf. Jesus Christ. My shelf, I have these little, like, rungs. It's the only way I can think of this to describe it. It keeps the shelf up. But that was before we built at the end piece. Again, I can't, so the end, you see that shelf right there. This right here, we did not have on my bookshelf before. We had it on, and the rungs would keep it up. And those stupid fucking things are so goddamn annoying because I'm putting books away and sometimes it would be in the middle and I wouldn't notice it. So it get all like thankfully so far it just goes right through like this. So it's a clean break, but you get bunched up and then the book is all fucked up. Now, just a lot of it was me not paying attention, to be fair, but it's so annoying because I can't. Like I put one on one side and one on the other, and then I put one book right next to it, and the book would move, and then it'd be like this on the rung, like this. It wouldn't be like this. It would be like this. So I was fine, but still so annoying, and I will forever be very pissed off. I like the shelves; they're really good shelves. They kept them up. I've had them for how long now? I think like 5 years now, and they are still holding the books up very well. And that's when I was an idiot. When I first got them, I stacked them like this, not like this, on top of one another. And if I hadn't, my brain didn't kick in to decide, hey, maybe you should get rid of the books. Keep the comics, get rid of the books, and then, right, going a little bit tangent, but we can do that in the live stream, and I go on tangents. But anyways, this series is Grace Ellis's Moonstruck, a series that I do not think is anyone that's my target audience would like. Well, some here and there. Actually, there is one that they have. I know he has read Grace Ellis's Lumberjanes, and it does have that style of humor. It does have that style of not style of humor. That too, but that style of storytelling, like that same kind of like tone, feel, whatever. But this was a series I liked enough. I didn't think it was spectacular. It was definitely that type of book. Like this definitely can be judged based off its cover. You can do that with you can judge a book based on its cover. It's a graphic novel. So volumes 1, 2, and 3 of Moonstruck. And what I was saying is this happened right there. I'm really careful with that because I don't want a book that I really care about. I do care about this one. I do care about this one. I'm still pissed off that it happened, but like I mean like one that like I don't think it's not that bad. It's just annoying. Like come on, man. I said no. All right. It's not my fault. It's the shelf's fault. But yeah, that one I read before. The library had it. I liked it enough. I thought it was worthy of owning, obviously. But that was back in Christmas of 2023. That was when I also had got in another book that I reviewed last month. Oh, that was when I got Rocket Girl, and I just had extra budget and I had extra money in the budget, and I was like, hey, Moonstruck, that's one the library had, and I really wanted to dive deep into in Christmas of 23. I really wanted to dive deep into the library had it. It's significant, or I liked it enough. I want to own it myself because I like doing that. Like I still do that to this day. Like next month, I'm honestly like I'm like, which ones am I gonna add? Because I've gotten just about every single image. This is for Image only. But just about every single Image Comics book that I read, Image Comics series that I read at the library, like so much out of my PC, all that I'm running out of books to do that with. It's pretty much scraping the bottom of the barrel. Like this, for September, I don't know what I'm gonna get. I thought I had one. I was like, oh yeah, perfect, get that one. There is one I want to get, but it's too expensive. In the sense, I can't add it to my budget. Like, there's no way. Like, maybe October. Even then, there was one book that it's because of all the new releases in September. Like, a lot of books that I'm like, oh, that one, that trade's coming out, that trade's coming out, that trade's coming out, and it just gets stacked. Anyways, I'm getting on so many tangents. Let's continue. How long has this video been so far? 14 minutes. All right. We're going to have to speed run the last few books. But the Image books that I like to give, like, all the time in the world to. You can tell I'm a little bit biased. All right. Gasolina is the next series, and I also want to add at least one series that I've read this year that I was like, yeah, I didn't like that one that much. So it's getting the redemption arc, if you will. Next month, it'll probably be Moonstruck. Moonshine from Brian Azzarello. It's 28 issues. There's no way I can do like I do it in the end of the month. No, I want to finish these all within the month of September. I don't want to. I want to be crossing over into October, even October 1st. It's not what I want to do. That's why none of these are more than 18 issues. All right. So volumes 1, 2. Keep gonna do that. Put my bed on the floor. And 3 of Gasolina. This is written by Sean Mankiewicz, who, if that name sounds familiar, he is an editor for Image Comics. So, an editor turned writer. It's pretty unique. But this series, I thought, was just... It wasn't even, like, the fun bad of confusing. It was just the confusing and borderline boring version of confusing. It got better as it went along, and, like, I think by the end I was hooked, but... Definitely one of those series I was like, I kind of am agreeing with the Goodreads, like wholeheartedly agreeing with the Goodreads rating. Because saying the book is confusing and all over the place and doesn't make any sense is not a turnoff for me. Because I read Cullen Bunn and Grant Morrison. Alright, and the final Image Comics series I'll be reading this month so far is Evolution, volumes 1, 2, and 3. Gasolina and Moonstruck were the only 2 series that I'd read before. The rest I have not read yet. Evolution seems pretty interesting because it's actually written by multiple writers. You got James Asmus, Joe Keatinge, Christopher Sabala, and Joshua Williamson. You have one more writer, right? They put the writers next to the author, the artists. It's kind of annoying. Josh Williamson. So there you go. 2 Josh Williamson series will be knocking out in 1 month. I say as if I want to do that. Not want to do that. I say as if it's a chore, and I'm like, no, it's not what I meant at all, obviously. Alright. So I'm going to speed run this next one, as you've already seen this one. This is the John Constantine Hellblazer Dead in America sequel. Tried to get this done this weekend, but stay with me now. Shit happened. I was just referring back to when I was saying, like, oh, we had this going on, that going on. I had 4 days, and it was like a 2-day weekend. No, that's not how that was. That's overselling it, but you get the point. Again, none of it I'm annoyed about. I do want to put this one next to the other one, though. Alright, come on. Where's the other book for the same author? There it is. Okay. Autumnal. This was my pick of the week last year, and honestly, if I had to do a pick of the year, like top 10 books I've read for the first time in 2024, this would be in the top 10. This was really damn good. Now this technically is by an Image Comics writer. He has done one thing for Image, but it was like a creep show issue, and it was a one-shot, and it was one story within the one-shot. There's 2 writers, so I don't really... but it's skin of its teeth. Like count Al Ewing, because Al Ewing did a 5-page story for an anthology. It's that level of do I or don't I count it. But the writer is Daniel Kraus, who also wrote Cemeterians. Now, Cemeterians is a great example of... So both these are obviously rereads, and this is a great example of reread because I liked it so much, and Cemeterians is a great example of reread because it's a reread to redeem. I did not like that much the first time, so read it again to redeem it. Now, did I expect it to be as good as Autumnal, my top 10? No, but it was also kind of just weird. Alright, so I put that there, that here, there, that's it. Ronin Island, going back to volume 1 because I forgot what happened. It was back in April, so that's where my brain works. However, I'm deciding to do that with Slam the Next Jam and Giant Days. Slam because it's the last volume in the series, might as well just finish it off. And Giant Days because we're volume 10. We're obviously like no. So wait, the cookie crumbles sometimes. Necronomicon by Alan Moore. Interested in checking this one out. Had never heard this series before. Don't even know how I came across it, honestly. Was I on that illegal website where I found... Well, pirate website where I found... I keep on saying Autumnal. It was that series by Brandon Peterson, the Image book I got it last month. as of me uploading this in August. I can't remember. But Necronomicon, Alan Moore. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, just had is that how I found it? I don't remember, but I knew I had Necronomicon on my to read list and put it in. I had it. Here we go. Catwoman, Volume 1. Again, going back to Volume 1 for Catwoman. Now, that's one that I'm thinking I will be able to finally finish, because I don't have Volume 3 at the library, so I do have to go to the pirate sites. That's the only real time I'll do that, is if I have no other choice. That's the only time I'll consider going to the pirate sites to read graphic novels. Because I like purchasing them, or getting them on the Kindle. I know that's not the most cost-effective thing to do, but I have a system, and it has been working relatively well. I mean, you're never going to read everything you want to read. You know, you're always going to be... there's always going to be that one series, you know, you'll never get to finish, or never get to read. I know I'm never going to get to read every single Batman book, even the ones that everyone says to read. So... And it's not me giving up, it's just me saying, like, hey, let's get what I want, you know, what I really want. Instead of getting a Batman series that's going to say, to be continued. Oh, but this one, actually, you have to read this Batman, that Batman, and it just becomes a headache. And I'm already getting a headache just thinking about it. So let's move on. Survival Street, Volumes 1 and 2. Only real reason why I'm reading Survival Street again. I didn't hate this one, but I also didn't really love it. I read Volume 1, have not read Volume 2. This is written by James Asmus and someone Fustan. Jim Fustan? Fustante? Let's see. Yes, Jim Fustante. It was just way too on the nose, this political shit. But now that I don't really care about that, like going into 2024, or 2025 in this case, yeah, it may have changed. You know, I have definitely changed. Well, 2024, but when I started my new job, that's kind of when I stopped being so politically this way. Now I'm politically that way. I'm more like I'm listening to the other side. Is my point. And then now on, not gonna get into politics. Let's move on. Magic, one I have had on my list forever to finally check out. Cannot wait to read it. It's fantasy. It's based off a card game I never played as a kid, and never will play because I'm not into card games. But it's got the household name, so let's check it out. This one was a long time coming. I could not wait to reread Elf Quest. This was the shit. The shit, not shit, the shit. So it was good. Very, very good. I loved this series so goddamn much. I adored every page. This was the fantasy. When I think of kids' fantasy in general, this is what I think of. Like, this is how to do it. 100%. It never feels like it's talking down to the kids, but it's surprisingly mature, what I remember, for a kids' fantasy series. Like, when I was on set, as much as I hate to talk shit about this movie, I do need to rewatch it. But when I went into the never-ending story, this was the tone that I wanted and didn't get, and that's why I don't think the never-ending story is that great. Do need to rewatch it though, so that is past Justin talking. Great example of differing opinions and the phrase unpopular opinion. It's definitely one of mine. Batman v Superman, but Batman Superman, the new 52 series, yet again going back to Volume 1. I'll say a reread. That. Rest are rereads, by the way. Only 2 more, but rest are rereads. Oh shit! So 2 of them. Okay, so Thor, Iron Man, God Complex has not come in yet. Fuck, that's right too. I knew that, but I should have mentioned that. I'll mention at the end of the video. I'll mention at the end of the video. That'll be a little post-credit scene. What's the other one? I should remember it too. There's 2 from Lady Killer by Joelle Jones. This is the woman who also did the Catwoman series. That's the only reason why I mentioned the name. But this series was like a 10 out of 10. One of the best comics I've read. Definitely top 10 of all time. So damn good. And then last but not least at all, and its latest, is Absolute Watchmen. whenever I reread Watchmen, I want it to be in a different format. The first time I read it, or first few times, it was the softcover, the one that I own. Then I wanted to check out the deluxe edition, what I thought was the deluxe edition, but it was a standard size hardcover. Still fine, still different format. Now I'll be doing Absolute. Next time, deluxe edition, which they have, maybe even annotated, but I'll probably end it conclude it with doing the digest size. And hell, maybe I'll just buy it myself. It's $10. Why not? The manga size version. The DC, what they call those? Essentials? No, not essentials. I don't know. But the manga size I've been doing recently. Because I want people to be able to read their shit. But also they understand that you can't afford everything. Especially if you're like me and you have a bunch of other comics to buy that month. Now, I won't be doing that because I don't like that small size for reading books. The only reason why I'm doing it for Watchmen is just for that different format. Alright. But, do this. Oh no, it's way too bright for you guys. Even I can tell that. That almost blinded me. Alright, so go here, here, here. That's probably not going to let me back in the website because your website is borderline broken. No, it's not broken. It's just annoying the way it does it. I'd say in the video, that's all the comics I'll be reading this month. If you want to know the ones that haven't come in yet, stick around. And I'll try and prattle on so it's not completely boring. So there's two catalogs that my library uses, and one website is super annoying because they'll say, "Oh yeah, we have this book." Actually, no, we don't. And why don't you let me in? Ah, no, that's my new. Uh-oh. What the fuck? That's my new. That's everything's right. Stupid son of a bitch! What the hell? Have the right library. Are you kidding me? Are they undergoing maintenance? Try it again. I know Thor, Iron Man, God Complex was one of them. I just can't remember the other one. There we go. It was being buggy. Maybe it didn't. Maybe I thought I had the library in, and maybe they said no, you don't have it in. I just didn't know that. Seven Secrets. That's the other one. So Seven Secrets of Tom Taylor. Oh, let me see the name. I'm breaking my own rule. Okay, so Thor and Iron Man, God Complex. And then Ronin, the Frank Miller series. I do need to mention that because there's a bunch of Ronin books, comics. So Ronin by Frank Miller. That was another one I want to check out. And, I actually remember it now. Smooth Criminals, Volume 2. So Smooth Criminals, Volume 2. Ronin, Frank Miller, Thor, Iron Man, God Complex, and Seven Secrets are the 4 books I am still waiting on that haven't come in yet. Why do I not wait until those books come in? Well, it's not going to be in September. It's not going to be on September 1st, so that's why I want to do it. What I will probably end up doing is just reviewing them. I mean, some of these books, one book in particular, I'm going to be finishing. Actually, one of them, 2 of them, I already finished. And they were books I bought, like books I got from the library, and it's before, it says that I'm going to be finishing in them before September 1st, so technically it's not, because I'm reading September, so I don't include that. I got it, in the same, when I got Cemeterians, I also got this book, so it's like, I just didn't want to do the books I'll be reading on Labor Day weekend, because that's silly. So what I'll end up doing is, like with those 2 books that I'm going to be finishing before September, is just when I'm reviewing them, just be like, hey, this book I got, it's whatever. Or this book I got from the library, the same time as the other ones, yada yada yada. So you didn't see it in this type of in this style of video when I'm just going over them, saying what I'm going to be reading. That's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Very rare though, in my case though. All right. Video has been long enough, and wait till it's 30 minutes, and then I will get back on my book, because I do need to get to reading. I think that's it. Yeah, I definitely will be putting in Black Science for the other Image books to read in September, but I just have way too much to add. Like, honestly, I have to kind of be like, Okay, so I'm obviously gonna be cutting in half, but I want to read the image books once per day, not every other day, like with Cemeterians or not Cemeterians. Is not a good example. Not like a Tumnal. Like a Tumnal, I'll probably most likely, unless I change the way I read books, I'm going to be actually I kind of should for. All right, that's me talking personal. But okay, so what I'm trying to say, what I'm basically getting at is because I can't read 22 comics when I have a work the next day, or I have work that day. It's a work day, it's a week. Even in the weekend, it's 22. It's still kind of hard to do. Because I can't do that, definitely during the week. What I do is I cut it in half because 11 is more manageable. But it's like okay with the image books, like it's 5 of them. Did you factor in that? No, you didn't. So now I have to do this and that and all that, and very convoluted. And I'm going to end the video now, especially because it's about to die.